Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So currently I'm in a new location, and you can see here in China mainland. I'm not sure it's an isolated event or what. They're putting all the let's say outdoor holdings in the same standard. You can see there is barely any commercial commercial thing in it. This is very special because I was working with brand designer, one of the top brand designer in the UK, and this is really cutting their income because you can see from advertisement ingredient is like it's like less commercial, being less attractive to customers, and this way they will be poor. And these people working, for example, like this supermarket here, the staff care about it because they get paid and every day they get salary, but just don't earn much. And I'm not sure if it's in Hong Kong, it's not a matter of national security. But even in Hong Kong, they are putting down some outdoor holdings for decades, which is very unusual. And it seems to me it's like something not hooking with the modern commercial world. Because if you're from a perspective of commercial, it's like you need to think about the display of the store, the outdoor holdings, there's some kind of things, and yeah, this is very weird. I was working as an interpreter for quite a while in southern China, and this March I met a boss. He's from Shanghai, and he started like a very bad position when he was just 18 years old, and starting working as some people working in the cargo station, and then begin to boom his own company. And then he went abroad for a couple of years, and then this year he returned to China, and then he decided to release a new brand, and let's say it's something like light luxury, but I'm not sure whether the people will still have the purchasing power in China. Yeah, it's actually, I think it's difficult for foreigners, for expats, to get a job in Shanghai because it's the higher standard here. So for a short period of time, let's say, if you come to China and in you're let's say you're black or white, or anyway you're just an expat, probably you get a lot of girls. And the reason for it is like you can see here is like economy not very open. You see a real estate company from Hong Kong and nothing more. So it's like, if you subscribe my YouTube channel, probably we can see some of more sharing of me. We can definitely talk more on YouTube channel. And in Hong Kong, I see things in many places in China. If you're a foreigner, really, it's like you can get a lot of girls. Just say that whatever the fuck you do, and then you have a lot of girls coming, probably get a beer, and then they will spend the night with you, seriously. But if you're Chinese, is is another story. It's not in your interest, really. And but if you say this in mainland, in a WeChat group, probably you'll be treated very badly, because it's like some kind of social rights. I mean, something like political rights, because these people don't want to see things negative or negative in their group, negative for this country, for their small group. Probably they won't see they won't talk about anything negative in China. But however, as you see the advertisement here, once some policy or some movement comes up, there will be a bunch of social problems, and then this bunch of social problems never be resolved, and then another bunch of social problems, which is very funny from my point of seeing. And let's say, so if you are like, for example, I was in southern China, in Guangzhou. Probably the girls there, they get a lot of black people, Latin American people, because that's the foreigners there. Okay, in Shanghai probably better, but still the same, because the environment is that. But you definitely cannot talk about this on Chinese social media, because it violates some kind of regulation. The reason for it is like many policies from the government, because they attract more foreign students from Africa, more students from former Soviet states and developing country, and they don't want to get some student from West Europe or North America or Australia or New Zealand, and then resulted in the event or the social beings like Chinese girls like foreigners very much because of this reason. And they also get a lot of privilege if you're a foreigner in China. For example, if you lost something and the police station will come and get to you in a very quick speed, probably you can look at the CCTV footage on the streets without your lawyer. That's very privileged, because my family was working in another city of China as a senior police officer. The other day I lost my wallet or something like that. I was punching people. Some people was punching me and I punched them back. And then I tried to look at the police footage to locate them, because you call the police, probably it won't work anything. And they just don't let me see it, and they don't want to do anything about it. So I just go to my family, and then they call the police station chief, and that guy treat me very well and show me the footage of the street surveillance. It's like definitely like something need to be authorized, some power to do that in China. So it's like many things in China connected with rights of small group of people, and then creates a bunch of problems. And if you say this in Hong Kong or somewhere else, probably they know what is this about. Like women, they prefer expats. But for Hong Kong, it's like a place has been in British territory for like 150 years. But in mainland China, it's like ridiculous, because it seems to me it's definitely something from the colony. But you definitely cannot say that in the public of this small group or in open society in China. But actually, that's what it seems to be. I'm not sure it is smart enough, but it seems to me it's really ridiculous or lack of visionary. So let's say just you're 50% down the roads, and then you want to see more things, and you're a long way from retirement. These are the things you need to think about. Probably want to start over in another place. I'm not trying to tell some big fancy stories. Just seeing the truth. Being more realistic is like very difficult sometimes. So last week I was in southern China. I was an interpreter, and I'm still an interpreter, hopefully. And then I work for a power company. It's called CSG, China Southern Power Grid, and they have some cooperation between them and Finland. I forgot that company's name, sorry. It's like a solar energy heating program, and they have a lot of cooperation with Finland, and hopefully they will not stop it. They have a small heating program there. It's like getting sun's power and then transferring that into heat, and then the heated water can be used into air conditioning or shower. Save a lot of energy because it's quite economic for the government side. And I'm not sure if the Chinese company, I mean private sector, they have this kind of technology, because for national sector, for those SOEs, they definitely don't have that. They probably don't want to research that too. But one of the interesting point is that they just have a small example of it, and then in a very hidden ground in their power station, or let's say power plant, that way will seem bigger. And then they have a lot of cooperation, but just isolated. They cut it into small pieces, and then it's like a demonstration for their CEOs, really. In this way, I don't think the technology is actually being greatly introduced into China, even though it's very useful for China, or even for, let's say, southern China, or that city in particular. And then the small sites, they cut it into little pieces. This gentleman here is spitting on the street. I didn't expect that. And it's actually really advanced. We work like several hours during a meeting. A lot of people from CH3 attended, and then they attended the lecture. And first of all is the greetings. Let's say it's like a big cooperation. It's like very successful pattern between our two governments, the PRC and Finland, and then start negotiating the technical things about their power station, and then talk about the instruments, guidance. Funny point is the workers in the power plant, they actually work there every day, but they barely look at the instruction themselves, and they need to have a meeting to go through it. Probably a reason because they cannot read English. And inside that program, there's a lot of German product. You can see Siemens product in some particular part, and then you have panels of solar. You have the heating pipes. It's all imported from Finland, all of them. None of them are made in China. So probably it's a little bit different from what is being said now, is the taking hold of the core skills, let's say. But it's just like a small demonstration, and they didn't actually, so far they did not introduce that into a vast field. So for many things in Chinese society, from what I've said and this kind of perspective, from the realistic point of view, it's like it's going to take a long time in history to take change. Even a small change is a great leap for a man, seriously. So thank you. If you like this video, touch like and subscribe. Thank you.